From the Pep Radio studios, this is all the news that is not really news. The H5 bird flu is widespread in wild birds worldwide and is causing outbreaks in poultry and U.S. dairy cows, with several recent human cases in U.S. dairy and poultry workers. As a result, the American Farm Animals Union has declared that they are going on strike nationwide. While Donald Trump was overjoyed at hearing the news, threatening to fire all farm animals, the Easter Bunny was completely distraught. Without chocolate chickens laying chocolate eggs, he is concerned that Easter will be canceled this year. I just don't know what I'm going to do without access to the chocolate eggs. I need to make children happy, said the Easter Bunny. The chocolate cow milk producers have announced they are backing the chicken strike and that they are afraid to come to the bargaining table as they've heard that excuse before during barbecue season. While the current public health risk is low, the Centers for Disease Control is watching the situation carefully and working with states to monitor people with animal exposures, especially to chocolate egg-laying chickens and milk-producing cows. As of today, the CDC has rated human exposure to bird flu as low and has seen no person-to-person spread of the disease. In one final comment, a leader from the Cows Union expressed disappointment, saying only, "Moo." Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., Senator Chuck Schumer, a New York Democrat, told reporters at the Capitol that Trump was incapable of being straight with the American people about the mess he's created in his short time in office. Trump tried being gay with the American people, but as we all know, gay people wouldn't tolerate even the slightest inconveniences that he has generated. Democrats are spotlighting the people who've been affected by the way the Trump administration has tried to dismantle parts of the federal government in the weeks since Trump took office. They're also slamming Trump for the economic effects of the president's tariff plans, especially the import of whiskey and other alcohol products from Canada and tequila from Mexico. Sorry, Jimmy Buffett, the tiki bar is closed, possibly for good. In the aftermath of their election losses, Democrats had struggled to coalesce around a plan to counter Trump. Now they can't even gather at the corner bar without serving up a heavy dose of tears over liquor prices. But as the impact of his early actions becomes clear, congressional Democrats have become enlivened in their responses. I get that people want to change, said Senator Amy Klobuchar, the Democrat from Minnesota. I get that they wanted to shake things up, to work on bringing healthcare costs down and doing something about housing, but they didn't want this. Senator Klobuchar, if they didn't want this, they should have voted for Kamala Harris, as they were warned to do so. Now this news from Greenland. The King of Denmark has agreed to purchase the Northeast United States from Maine to Pennsylvania for a mere $30 million worth of gold visas and some travel brochures. King Frederick X had offered to exchange the Faroe Islands for the U.S. Virgin Islands to provide Elon Musk a place to use his chainsaw to make ice sculptures. Musk, however, opposed the idea, claiming that he had other business to attend to at the U.S. Supreme Court. The king had intended to purchase the entire United States, but he soon realized that the government would unfortunately be included in the deal. And we close with the news that isn't from Cochranton. A feeling of utter helplessness flooding his nervous system from the very moment he has spotted the enormous brown paper sack, 34-year-old William Pelty told reporters Wednesday his DoorDash order had arrived in a humiliatingly large bag. Pelty, who lives alone, alleged the size of the bag used by Parkside Restaurant to pack his order was grossly disproportionate to the modest amount of food it contained. He reportedly winced when he accepted the delivery, looking left and then right to see if anyone had witnessed him taking the bag that had so much extra space he could feel the food just sliding around in there. The bag, it's way too big, said Pelty, who grew increasingly agitated as he recalled how the delivery driver, identified by the app simply as Brian, had handed him the bag using both hands as if it were very heavy, though by any objective standard it was not. I only got a couple of things. It doesn't make any sense to give me a bag this big. Why would they do this? He added. Initially, Pelty presumed the order was for another resident of his building. Given the bag's excess size, the medical billing specialist stated that he thought it must have belonged to his upstairs neighbors, a couple with 2 children. But that assumption was quickly turned on its head, he explained, when the driver carrying the bag looked at him and, to his great embarrassment and dismay, said, "William?" "If anybody would have seen me, they would have probably thought I got a ton of food," said a visibly exasperated Pelty, noting that the only items in his order were a grilled chicken sandwich with cheddar cheese and without tomato, plus a side of fries, which could have been contained in a package 1/4 or even 1/5 of the bag's size. "It's not fair, because I didn't. I just got one meal." Hey man, better luck next time, William. Stick around to Pep Radio, because coming up now, we have the latest forecast for the Meadville area from the National Weather Service.